I've got to be straight with you. This whole situation doesn't feel like a typical early season storyline anymore. It feels much bigger than that, because when something minor turns into something that keeps a driver sidelined and then suddenly nobody has any idea when he's returning, that's when you start paying attention in a completely different way. As a NASCAR fan, we've seen guys miss races before. It happens. But this feels different. This feels like one of those moments that can quietly alter the trajectory of an entire season. Not just for one driver, but for an entire team that's supposed to be competing for victories every single weekend. And the wildest part is this didn't blow up all at once. It built up piece by piece until suddenly everyone in the garage and every fan watching realized something serious was unfolding. And now we're at a point where a major decision has been made. One that could define the next few weeks in a significant way. So if you're following this season closely, believe me, you're going to want to hear how all of this played out. And hey, real quick, if you're a true NASCAR fan and you enjoy talking about this kind of stuff like we do here, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Daily NASCAR is just getting started and we're pushing toward 1,000 subscribers. So if you want to be part of that early crew, you're in the right spot. So here's where everything really starts to come together. This whole situation didn't just materialize out of thin air. It actually started during the race at COTA at the Echo Park Automotive Grand Prix. At first, it didn't even look like something that would turn into a headline like this. But then mid-race, something changed. Alex Bowman started experiencing something that no driver ever wants to deal with behind the wheel. Vertigo. And if you've been watching NASCAR for a while, you already know this ISNT just feeling a little off. This is serious. We're talking about a driver going nearly 200 miles per hour, relying on split-second judgment, depth perception, balance, everything. Vertigo completely interferes with all of that. That's what makes this so frightening, because at that point, it's not about finishing the race anymore. It's about getting out of the car safely, and that's precisely what happened. Bowman had to step out of the number 48 car mid-race. That's rare. Drivers don't just climb out unless something is genuinely wrong. Now fast forward to Phoenix. At that point, everyone is thinking maybe it was just a one-race thing. Maybe he'll be back. But then the update surfaces. He's not medically cleared. That's when Hendrick Motorsports had to go into full scramble mode. They brought in Alfredo as a temporary replacement. And no disrespect to Alfredo whatsoever, because stepping into a cup car on short notice is one of the most difficult things you can do in this sport. But the results showed precisely how tough that situation was. He finished in 33rd position. No rhythm, no real pace. The number 48 team just looked completely out of sync the whole weekend. And here's the larger issue. It wasn't just a poor finish. There was still no clear timeline for Bowman's return. That's when the uncertainty really started to snowball. Then everything went from uncertain to chaotic, because Hendrick Motorsports accidentally revealed the plan before they intended to. A press release went live, just normal race notes, nothing flashy. But buried inside it was one line that changed everything. Justin Allgaier will drive the number 48 Ally Chevrolet. Within minutes, the page was taken down. But it was too late. Fans had already spotted it. Screenshots spread everywhere. Social media blew up. At that point, it wasn't a rumor anymore. It was basically confirmation waiting to happen. And not long after, Hendrick made it official. Justin Allgaier is stepping into the number 48 for Las Vegas. This is where it gets really compelling, because this isn't a random fill-in driver. Allgaier brings genuine experience with over 80 Cup Series starts. He also has a strong connection to Hendrick through JR Motorsports. This is someone they have confidence in, and he's coming in with momentum, including a recent victory in the Xfinity Series. So this decision isn't just about filling a seat. It's about stabilizing a situation that's starting to feel wobbly, and that's exactly what Hendrick needs right now, because replacing a driver at Hendrick Motorsports isn't straightforward. This is one of the elite organizations in NASCAR. Every car is expected to compete at the highest level. Allgaier's role is clear. Keep the car clean, manage the race, avoid turning a bad day into a catastrophe. And at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, that matters. This track is all about long green flag runs, tire wear, and strategy. You need discipline. That's what Allgaier brings. Now let's address the biggest concern, Alex Bowman. The vertigo symptoms haven't fully subsided. Hendrick has made it clear they're not going to rush him back, and that's absolutely the right decision because this isn't just about performance anymore. This is about safety at nearly 200 miles per hour. You cannot gamble with something like this. This situation also impacts the entire organization. Hendrick Motorsports is built to dominate with drivers like Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, and William Byron. This team expects to win, but now the number 48 car becomes an unknown variable. Less consistency, less preparation, more pressure on the rest of the team. And in a season where every single point matters, especially with the playoffs always looming, this kind of instability can become a genuine problem. So now we're left with a massive question. How long will Alex Bowman be out? Vertigo isn't something you just power through. Until he's fully cleared, that seat remains open. This situation started as a mid-race issue. Now it has evolved into a multi-week absence, a surprise replacement, a leaked announcement, and one of the biggest storylines in NASCAR right now. All eyes are on Las Vegas. Can Justin Allgaier steady the number 48 team? Can they finally have a clean and competitive race? And most importantly, when will Alex Bowman be back? That's what makes this so gripping. We simply don't have that answer yet. And honestly, if you ask me, this is one of those situations where Hendrick Motorsports has to play the long game no matter how frustrating it gets. Because sure, you want your driver back as soon as possible. You want that number 48 car back in contention. But when you're dealing with something like vertigo, there's no rushing it. One bad moment at full speed can change everything. So in my opinion, they made the correct call bringing in Justin Allgaier. You're not asking him to go out there and win the race immediately. You're asking him to keep this team stable, keep the car clean, and most importantly, keep them from falling too far behind in the standings. And I actually believe he can accomplish that. Now, the real question is how long this drags on. Because if this stretches into more than just a couple of races, then this isn't just a short-term adjustment anymore. This becomes a serious blow to Bowman's season and possibly his playoff hopes. And as a fan, that's the difficult part to watch because you know the talent is there. You know this team can run up front. But right now, everything is on hold until he's 100% ready to come back. So yeah, this is far from over, and I think the next couple of weeks are going to tell us a great deal about where this season is really headed for that number 48 team. If you're following this as closely as I am, drop your thoughts in the comments. How long do you think Bowman will be sidelined, and what do you expect from Allgaier this weekend? And if you're new here, this is what we do. Real NASCAR talk, honest reactions, no fluff. Go ahead and like the video and subscribe to Daily NASCAR. We're a new channel chasing our first 1,000 subscribers. If you're a true fan, you're going to want to be part of this from the very beginning.